You've thought about it, haven't you? I want to speak English, to travel, to watch movies with no subtitles, to make friends from around the world, to get a better job. But then the doubts come in. What if I'm not good enough? What if I make mistakes? What if people laugh at me? If that sounds like you, listen closely. This is your sign, your moment, your chance to stop waiting and start learning. First of all, no, it's not too late. You don't have to be 10 years old to learn a language. You can be 15, 25, or 55. Your brain still works. What matters most is not your age. It's your attitude. Are you curious? Are you willing to try? Are you ready to sound silly for a while? If yes, then you're already ready. You don't need to be fluent tomorrow. You don't need perfect grammar or a British accent or a 5-year study plan. You just need 10 minutes, one new word today, one sentence you say out loud, one video you understand a little better. That's where it begins. And when you show up every day or even just a little, you grow faster than you think. Small effort, big results. Just keep going. Here's a secret. The biggest problem isn't grammar, it's fear. Fear of speaking, fear of being wrong, fear of looking stupid. But you know what? Making mistakes is not failure. It's progress. Every baby falls before they walk. Every beginner struggles before they shine. Your accent? It's beautiful because it shows you're brave. Your effort? It matters because it proves you care. So be proud of your mistakes. They mean you're learning. You already know more English than you think. Hello. Okay. Coffee, TikTok, Wi-Fi, pizza, YouTube. English is in your phone, your music, your games, your daily life. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from almost there. You just need to go one step further, from understanding to speaking. Learning doesn't have to be boring. Use what you love. Like anime? Watch with English subtitles. Like gaming? Change the game language. Like music? Learn the lyrics. Like people? Chat with them online. There are millions of learners like you. Make English part of your world, not just a subject. That's how it becomes easy. Fluency isn't about speaking fast. It's about expressing yourself, even in simple words. You don't need big vocabulary. You need brave vocabulary. You don't need to sound native. You need to sound real. Confidence greater than perfection because people connect with your heart, not your grammar. So start today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, download the app, watch the video, say one sentence out loud. You don't have to speak perfectly. You just have to start speaking. And every word will take you closer to the person you want to become. You can do this. Your English journey starts now. Let's be honest. Most people don't fail because they're not smart. They fail because they stop. They get excited on day one. They make a big plan, download 10 apps, buy a new notebook. Then 2 weeks later, it all stops. Not because they're lazy, but because they expect too much, too soon. They expect to sound fluent in a month, to understand every video, to speak with zero mistakes. But learning English is not magic, it's muscle. And muscles grow slowly, day by day, not overnight. You don't build fluency by doing a lot one day. You build it by doing a little every day. So if you've stopped before, that's okay. But don't stop forever. Start again. And this time, go slow, but never stop. Because real progress is quiet, steady, and unstoppable. I'm not good at English. Have you ever said that to yourself? Maybe you've tried learning before. Maybe you forgot everything. Maybe you think others are just better. But here's the truth. No one is born good at English. Everyone starts from zero. Even fluent speakers once said, he go, or I go to school. Even native speakers forget words and grammar rules. Being good at English isn't a talent, it's a skill. And skills are built. So the next time your brain says, I can't do this, say this instead. I'm learning, I'm growing, and that's enough. You're not behind, you're not too late. You're exactly where you need to be. Now just keep going. What if English didn't feel like studying? What if it felt like fun? Here's the secret, it can. Do you love anime? Watch it with English subtitles. Pick one line, pause, repeat it out loud. Boom. You just practice pronunciation, listening, and rhythm. Do you love music? Find a song you like. Read the lyrics. Sing along. You don't have to sound perfect. Just feel the words. Do you love video games? Switch the language to English. Notice new words. Read the quests. Listen to how characters talk. Learning doesn't always happen at a desk. It can happen on your couch, on your phone, in your headphones. Make English part of your world. That's how it becomes effortless. Most people think you need hours every day to learn English. But the truth? You just need a few powerful minutes, done consistently. Let me show you 3 tiny habits that can change everything. Speak one sentence out loud in the morning. It could be anything. I'm learning English. The weather is nice. Simple but powerful. Change one thing in your routine to English. Your phone settings, your playlists, your subtitles. Make English part of your daily life. Reflect in English before bed. What did I do today? Say it in English, out loud. It's okay if it's simple. It works. These habits take 5 minutes or less, but they build something big, momentum. And momentum is how fluency starts. Close your eyes. Can you see your future self? The one who speaks English confidently, travels freely, works internationally, connects globally. That version of you, it's real. But it's not waiting in a textbook. It's waiting at the end of your effort. That future doesn't come from one big moment. It comes from every tiny step you take today. One word, one sentence, one mistake. All of it counts. So whenever you feel like giving up, remember that confident version of you. They are cheering for you. And every time you try again, you get closer. Fluency isn't about being perfect. It's about not giving up. So don't. Here's something powerful no one tells you. When you learn a new language, you don't just speak differently, you think differently. You unlock a new version of yourself. In English, maybe you're more confident, more curious, more expressive. Why? Because language shapes identity. You discover new words for feelings you didn't know how to say. You make jokes you never made before. You connect with people you never thought you'd understand. This isn't just learning vocabulary, it's building a new you. The you who can speak to anyone in the world. The you who's not afraid to try. The you who says, yes, I belong in this global conversation. For many of us, English class was a disappointment. Too much grammar, too little speaking, too much memorizing, not enough using, and worst of all, the fear of making a mistake in front of the class. But here's what school never taught you. You don't need to know all the grammar to speak. You don't need to wait for permission to practice. You're allowed to learn the way that works for you. Watch memes, sing along to pop songs, talk to strangers online. These aren't wrong ways to learn. They're real ways. Language is not a test. It's a tool, not just for passing, but for connecting. Forget the classroom rules that made you afraid. You're free to learn now, your way. Learning to speak English is exciting, but learning to listen in silence, that's a superpower. When you truly listen, you catch more than words. You notice rhythm, emotion, culture, intention. A sentence like, I'm fine, can mean happy, annoyed, tired, depending on how it's said. English isn't just what you say, it's how you say it. So listen like a detective. Watch interviews and study how people pause. Listen to voice messages and mimic their tone. Observe conversations, not just sentences. Silent listening is active learning, and it will sharpen your ears and your instincts better than any textbook. You already know English is important, but have you truly seen how far it can take you? English isn't just for travel or passing exams. It's the key to unlocking global opportunities. That dream remote job? The interview is in English. That university abroad? English requirement? That inspiring TED Talk? It's in English, but it's not just about money or degrees. It's about access to ideas, to people, to places, the best courses, communities, content. They're often in English. So every time you study, you're not just learning a language. You're building a bridge to your next level. Here's something most learners never do. Coach themselves. They wait for a teacher, a class, a perfect course. But you don't have to wait. You can become your own guide. Start by asking, what did I learn today? What confused me? What will I try next? Record your voice. Watch it back. Correct your own mistakes without shame. Set weekly mini goals. Reward yourself when you hit them. No one knows your schedule, your struggles, or your style better than you. So take charge. Be your own motivator, your own critic, your own fan. The best students are not the smartest. They're the ones who know how to self-correct and keep going. Let's flip the question. You've been thinking, what if I try and fail? But ask yourself this, what if you never start? What doors will stay closed? What friends will you never meet? What dreams will stay dreams? Sometimes the biggest regret isn't failing, it's not trying. There are versions of you, bold, fluent, fearless, waiting on the other side of effort. But you'll never meet them if you don't begin. So choose to begin, not for perfection, not for anyone else. Just so you can look back years from now and say, I didn't wait, I became. Have you ever thought about what it really means to speak two languages? It's not just about translation. It's not just about understanding more words. It's about living in two realities and being able to move between them. When you learn English, you're not just memorizing vocabulary. You're developing what many call a second brain. This second brain thinks in a different rhythm. It listens with wider ears. It feels with greater sensitivity. It's the part of you that understands humor that doesn't exist in your native language. That catches double meanings. That smiles when someone says, break a leg. And you know they're not being mean. They're wishing you good luck. You start noticing how people from different cultures express the same idea in different ways. Maybe in your language, feelings are spoken softly, but in English, they're bold, direct, unapologetic. You learn not just what people say, but why they say it that way. And suddenly you understand more than words. You understand people. You understand perspective. And let's talk about what that means for you. A bilingual mind is powerful, not just for language, but for life. Why? Because it's more flexible. It switches between structures, between sounds, between meaning systems. It's more creative because it has more ways to express a thought. It's more empathetic because it knows that not everyone thinks or speaks the same way. You become better at listening, better at adapting, better at expressing you, not just in one voice, but in two. And in a world that's moving fast, a flexible mind is a superpower. But here's the thing. Many learners never get to enjoy this gift, not because they aren't smart enough, not because they don't try hard enough, but because they let self-doubt silence them. They think, I'll speak when I'm better. I'll join the conversation when I stop making mistakes. I'll use my voice when it sounds more natural. And so, they wait. And while they wait, their voice, their stories, their ideas all go unheard. But what if I told you that your voice deserves to be heard? Right now, not later, not someday, not when you pass a test or get a certificate. Now, because someone, somewhere, is waiting to hear you. Not a perfect accent, not a flawless sentence. You. Maybe it's another learner who needs to feel less alone. Maybe it's a friend who needs your perspective. Maybe it's someone who doesn't even know they need your words yet. But they will if you speak. So don't wait for permission. Speak. Even when it feels awkward. Even when you don't have the right word. Even when your grammar's off and your accent is thick. Speak, because your voice matters. And every time you speak, something powerful happens. You claim your space. You prove to yourself that you belong here. You remind the world that effort is more powerful than perfection. Fluent or not, your voice tells the truth. It says, I care, I try, I am learning, I am here. And that is more inspiring than perfect grammar could ever be. You may not feel ready, but let me tell you this. Every speaker you admire today once said their first sentence with fear. Every fluent friend you know once paused in the middle of a thought, searching for the word. Every confident English voice you've ever heard started out unsure. So don't be quiet. Be bold. Be real. Even if it's just a whisper, let that whisper grow. Your voice is already enough, Because fluency isn't a title someone gives you. It's not a finish line you cross. It's a process you live. It's showing up for yourself. It's speaking when it's easier to stay silent. It's being honest when it's tempting to pretend. And in that process, you grow, word by word, line by line, mistake by mistake, victory by victory. So speak even if it shakes. Speak even if it's slow. Speak because someone out there needs to hear the story only you can tell, in the words only you can choose. And one day you'll look back and smile, not because you became fluent, but because you became fearless. If this video inspired you, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe and keep going on your English journey. You've got this. See you in the next one.